Hi everybody, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're taking another look at World of Tanks, the miniatures game from Gale Force 9. This time we're looking at the expansion, the M3 Lee. So this is an American tank for World of Tanks. As you can see, it runs about $12 retail US, and the expansion contains a plastic tank, tank card, and 5 upgrade cards, as well as an online bonus code. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what we get. I'll try not to show you my secret bonus code. But we'll start with the tank, because that's why we're here. As we've already said with other looks at World of Tanks, that these are Battlefront models. They are just pre-assembled and have a very basic prime spray on them in the correct color for the Army. All the articulation works, the gun barrel and the turret. So you could use these for Flames of War with no problem. Looks really nice. Nothing wrong with the Battlefront kit as far as the M3 Lee goes. One of my favorite tanks. I've got a bunch of them in my American mid-war army because they're so cool. Many years ago, for a Shifting Sands, I purchased a bunch of M3 Lees for a Soviet army, but as soon as I was done with that, I kind of sold it off. I kind of regret that now because it would be cool to have a ton of Soviet M3 Lees, but I digress. So we've got our tank. Let's talk about our card in game. All right, here are the contents of the package now out. The unit card is nice and glossy. I like, like a playing card. They did a really nice job with this. So you have an M3 Lee medium tank with the assault gun special rule. It has a firepower of 4+, survivability 1, mobility 2, initiative 4, and it has 6 crew slots. If you notice, it says assault gun here. So, well, I guess before we flip it over, we can see, I guess that's tier 4 medium tank, 33 cost. On the flip side, the assault gun, the tank, has a restricted line of sight and fixed field of fire. So I think the old game did this too. Basically, it's completely ignoring the 37mm turret on the top and just with the gun. But we'll see. We'll look at the upgrade cards and see what those bring. So how do these raw stats compare to similar competitors to the Lee? I would say like the Sherman, maybe the Panzer IV-H. Compared to the Sherman, we'll zoom out a little bit here so you can see that a little better. It's pretty much the same stats-wise. Firepower 4, survivability 1, mobility 2. Initiative is a little bit better with the Sherman. They both have 4 hit points. The Sherman's 37 points to the Lee's 33 points, and it's probably down to the better initiative and the fact that you've got a turret. You're not hobbled by the assault gun rule. The Panzer IV-H is again a very similar tank, initiative 5 versus initiative 4. And again, it doesn't have the assault gun rule, taking away from it. That costs 35 points, still a few points more expensive than the M3 Lee. So pretty cool there. M3 Lee seems to be the economical choice if you are just shy a couple points, can't get a Sherman. Maybe the Lee is the way to go. All right, let's check out the cards. So the first card is 37mm gun, M5, M6, for a cost of 2. While attacking, this tank may take -1 from its firepower to ignore the assault gun rule. Okay, so this does, these are kind of stuck together. This does take into account the turret if you equip this card. So for 2 points, you can use the turret, which will be firing at firepower 3. It's -1 to your firepower. But you ignore the assault rule, so basically you get your 360 degrees of fire back. So that's pretty cool. Cyclone filter equipment +1 to initiative during the movement phase. Reroll a failed repair roll when repairing an engine fire critical card. Okay, so pretty situational, but anything that can improve you for initiative can be good, and that costs 3 points. Deadeye, which is a crew card, a gunner. When you draw 2 critical hits, when you draw 2 critical cards for the first critical hit scored by this tank each turn, the shooting player chooses which one of these. Okay, sorry. So you basically draw 2 crit cards, and you pick which one you want to apply, and then you discard the other. So that's 5 points to upgrade your gunner. Adrenaline Rush is for your loader. 1 point, +1 to your firepower when in the red. So if you're in the red, which I believe means you have 1 hull point left, I think that's what that means, you get +1 firepower. Your guys get mad as they're about to die. And then you have a unique card, Nathan Campbell, unique crew, 6 points, commander. This tank may attempt to repair an additional critical card each turn. And Sixth Sense, at the start of the shooting phase, roll a die on a, was that a critical hit or a wargaming symbol. This tank may make a single move. This move does not increase its movement token. Okay, so basically you roll, and I think that equals out to about 50-50 if I remember right. Let's see, I've got one of these dice handy. Oh yeah, so you got your critical, and I guess these are the regular hits. So if you roll any of those, so you got a 50-50 chance of basically getting a free move by using this guy, but he's a hefty 6 points. So I think, again, all of these are new cards. Let me just double check real quick. So, and I don't think any of these cards, I double checked, I didn't see any of these cards in any of the other expansions or the basic set that I've got. Obviously, Nathan Campbell here, and this is M3 Lee dedicated. But the other 3 you'll be able to use pretty much by anyone. And it's pretty cool. So what do I think of the Lee? I've got a couple of games in now, and I'm liking this system. It's fun. It's an easy, simple game to get in between like larger games of Flames of War or 40K or something. It lends itself to being a little silly and fun. And I think the Lee has a good place in the game. Of all the expansions, I think the Lee is very similar to the Sherman and the Panzer IV, if you want to compare against other nations as well. So I'm not sure if you have the Sherman from the basic set, if the Lee is a must purchase. I think it's cool because you can, you've got your unique crew and some cool cards here. Deadeye seems pretty cool. But I don't know, it remains to be seen. I'm going to play with it because I just like the Lee, and I think it looks really cool in kind of a ungainly, sad way. It's one of my favorite tanks. So I'm excited to have it on the battlefield. So I'm sure you guys will see it at some point again. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint these ones or co-opt them into a Flames of War army or not. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these models. Let the kids paint them different colors. So that remains to be seen. But do I think this expansion is cool? Well, for what you get, $12 retail. You probably find it cheaper other places as well. That's a pretty good deal, considering it's a fully built and primed Flames of War tank. Where I forget, if you buy a box of 5 of these tanks, it's like $45. So there's some value there, even if you're not a World of Tanks player and you're just looking for, I need one extra M3 Lee. Well, there you go. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, please do check us out on Facebook at All Miniatures Great and Small. Also, down in the comments below, let me know what you think about World of Tanks. I know most of you seem pretty positive about it. There's been a couple of negative comments, but that is what it is. People like what they like, and you got to respect all of those opinions as long as they're presented respectfully. So I appreciate everyone that comments, whether they agree or disagree with me. You guys are great, and we can't do this without you. So again, let me know down in the comments below. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe. That would be very helpful. Click that bell to receive notification for when we release additional content. You can also, if you like our Flames of War content, check out our Patreon. There you can have access to an additional Flames of War battle report every month. So there you go. Check that out. I'll leave a link in the video description below. As always, thanks for watching, and keep on wargaming.